This is the 260. I'm Joe Walburn. I'm joined by the man they call the mayor of the 260, Dave Rickert, and we're also joined by the one and only Ryan Preston, and we've been
making his debut,
baby, and we hope all those professors at Trine are checking him out tonight because he's been awesome behind the scenes all summer long with us, and tonight he's up in the batter's box, as you say, Dave, and he's got a couple of great guests. We're so excited to have the one and only Jalen Jackson. And if you love high school basketball and college basketball in this area, you definitely know that name, don't you, Dave?
Oh, I'm glad he got it to Northrop.
Absolutely. And then I tell you what, another great name, and it's going to be kind of fun.
Another Northrop guy,
the great Jordan Love, and we're going to get kind of the feel behind the scenes of what it takes to be a Big Ten referee and be able to officiate those basketball games. So I'm excited because you know what? Tonight, we love basketball, but tonight we're kind of going behind the scenes because what I want Ryan really to focus on with Jalen is people just don't realize the sacrifice it takes for these guys to go and not only work on your degree in college, but to play basketball, just the time management and the discipline of any sport. So we're excited tonight with that, Ryan. Yeah. And then, of course, with Jordan Love, we're just excited to hear about his journey becoming a top-flight referee.
Like I said, it's two aspects of college basketball.
Two aspects of college basketball.
Yeah, man,
so,
excited.
Man, it's great for you to be with us, Ryan. And I tell you what, it's been fun this summer to have you working with us. And I tell you what a great bounce to kind of pick up from Sonar and Denise and Dave with what you're doing with your degree at Trine.
Absolutely. I really appreciate you guys just bringing me in. Coming here every Thursday, seeing this podcast and the growth even from when I took over the Instagram social media account.
Sure.
Just the support.
And we thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Everyone that you get to meet just through this is an opportunity itself. And, I really appreciate all that and all the doors it's opened up for me.
It's been good for us, too, because what's interesting with guys your age is, you're going to Trine, you're working on your degree, marketing, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Correct. So you got the marketing degree, but you're also dialed in with the social media. It's just interesting because Sonar always preaches that with multi-format. Joe, you not only, you have to be able to do what you do every day, but you have to have that social media presence. And I think it's kind of interesting with guys your age, how adaptable to that you guys are.
Yeah. It is a growing industry for sure, and news spreads like that.
It does, so big time. That's what Dave says. Dave says, I say, Dave, did you see the news today? He says,
there is no news.
There is no news. Twitter's news, Joe.
You're right.
Is that right, Sonar?
I know. That's the beautiful thing about it, You can reach thousands of people within seconds. Then you can grow from there. That could even be like bad or good. It could be two-way. But I just think it's good to know the skills for it, know how to effectively use it to grow a business.
Absolutely.
And then once you master that, you become very valuable. So
absolutely.
At Trine, you're in your second year, right?
I'm going into my third year.
Third year already.
So do they have anything there like this?
Oh yeah. So we have a whole, I would say, studio where you can do. I don't personally do it. That's kind of like the broadcasting thing, but they have a whole thing. They do all of our sports broadcasts, all of our basketball games.
Wow.
So you get, announcing, play-by-play, camera work, all that stuff. But we do have social media classes and stuff we can do.
So you actually have social media classes.
We do. How to market, how to promote.
Man, and now quickly, and I don't want to get into it too much because next segment, Dave, I'm going to disappear, and we're going to have Jalen on and let Ryan kind of run the show. But that social media has to be so key for you guys with the NIL money and everything going on, and with the way college basketball has changed.
Absolutely. The value you can create your own brand now, which is
interesting.
You look at Fletcher Lawyer. I mean, the kid's
and what's funny about that? All the time. Exactly. What's funny about that is, way back when I played, guys would literally bitch in the locker room down at Cincinnati because guys would be wearing their jerseys. We'd go out. The tailgating was unbelievable. We play at 9 o'clock, you guys. You talk about people just going crazy in the tailgating. But guys would bitch and complain because they would see all this money being made off the gear, off their jerseys. And it's just such a different time now. And I used to say to them, they'd say, "Shut up, Joe." I said, "That's why you got a scholarship, Shut up, Joe, But it's interesting now that here you guys are, and you're right. You're taking social media classes. And you have to be your own marketer.
Yeah.
And I think that's just fascinating. We've kind of experienced that throughout the 260. Remember Jacob Kindig?
Yep.
He was a master marketer.
Yep.
And it's just, the fighter. So it's
wife,
just kind of,
his wife is the master.
yeah, I guess his wife is the master marketer. But it's kind of interesting with the personas and the different people,
Right.
how you have to really be dialed into social media and market yourself.
Yeah, it's great. It's a big recruiting tool now that
It is.
we're going to be talking. I'll talk to Jalen a little bit about it. He's experienced some of that stuff as well as me. What you put out on the internet stays out there. So you want to create a brand for yourself. You want companies to look at you as like an interview. So anything you want to help build your brand, you want to put out there, make sure it's going towards a good cause.
Yeah, I'll probably watch those Twitter beefs, Denise, Not too many Twitter beefs.
Yeah.
Speaking of Twitter beef, we got to talk about it quickly before we get to the basketball.
Yeah.
What is up with Jonathan Taylor? I mean, who is his agent?
Sign the contract.
Sign the contract. Go play ball.
You got to realize, we've talked about this, running backs are a dime a dozen.
Well, they can draft him every couple of years, and they run those zone blocking schemes that you can pick a kid in the third or fourth round and plug him in. But Jonathan Taylor.
I forget what team it was, their third round pick ended up being their starter last year.
And the Chiefs had that.
That's who it was. Sorry.
Yeah. They had the kid, and the kid ended up starting in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I try to tell these guys, man, it's not what you make, it's what you end up with. My gosh,
you saw Big Joe signed his contract right away.
He signed his contract right away. So I can't believe how out of control that's gotten. And honestly, I'm not an Irsay fan. But I think he was right. I would have handled it too. I said, hey, you have a contract. You're going to honor your contract.
We've already done this with Eric Dickerson.
We did it. And the thing is, if you look back, you see a lot of these running backs complaining in the NFL right now. Look at the contracts that came about. Look at Todd Gurley's contract. His contract was horrible. And he had just a terrible knee.
Yep.
Went on that podcast with LeBron James, and they sat there and called the NFL owners slaveholders.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That didn't help.
That did not help.
Ezekiel Elliott's contract, probably one of the worst contracts in the NFL. So you've had so many guys with bad contracts from the running back position. I think that's kind of hindered them too. So I'm just surprised by it. I think that the Colts definitely need them. I'm not sold on their rookie quarterback at all.
Oh, no.
I don't know if you know the stat, but of all the...
They better, if they're smart, Gardner starts.
That's what they should do. But what's interesting is...
And let him sit on the sideline and watch.
Of all first-round NFL draft picks since 2001, you know who's thrown the fewest touchdown passes in college football?
Colts.
Anthony Richardson. Absolutely. So that is a big gamble. We got the problems with Jonathan Taylor. So it'll be interesting, Ryan, to see kind of how all that comes about. The NFL camps are open. It's crazy how some of these guys just immediately, first day of camp, go down with injuries, isn't it?
I'm going to have to be getting, Joe Burrow. I'm going to have to be getting HBO so I can watch Hard Knocks and the Jets.
I know. I'm waiting for that mullet. I'm waiting for that little hard
right
knocks
now,
segment with the mullet. I don't know.
I'm not seeing him. I
haven't seen any of it. So
I follow him on Instagram, and he's not under center.
No. And what's happening right now, I think he was working with the third team, I heard. So hopefully he can work his way up. They've got Connor McGovern, who's been a long-time NFL star that they think he'll start, but McGovern's not a real physical guy. And
he ain't healthy either.
Nah, he typically doesn't hold up for the whole season. So I think it could be a situation where we had hoped maybe Joe would start early on, but it might be down the road, and we'll see. But think about that. Think about being the Jets camp as Joe Tittman battling to snap the ball to Aaron Rodgers, man. Think about how long Rodgers has played. Tittman must have been, 4 or 5 years old when Rodgers broke into the league. Think about that.
But back to Richardson.
Yeah.
Rodgers was on the bench.
Oh yeah, and you know what?
You learn.
Oh my gosh, do you learn? And I think same thing with Mahomes. I think a year or two is healthy on the bench, and I tell you what, I like Gardner Minshew. He has been a good NFL quarterback. I'm always surprised that nobody else takes a flyer on him as a starter.
He's a winner.
And what I love about him,
he's a gamer. He don't have the measurements of everybody else.
He's got great numbers. He wins. You love this, Sonar. Minshew still drives his high school car from graduation, a 2011 Acura. He's been an NFL quarterback for 3 or 4 or 5 years now,
4 or 5.
And he still sleeps on the mattress from college that he dug out of the trash.
It's crazy.
He shows up to camp and he's wearing a Smoking and Bandit shirt. Joe, how was Vegas?
Oh, Vegas was awesome. Vegas was rocking. Everybody thought I was nuts taking my 10-year-old son out there. But you know what? Some guys take their kids fishing, Ryan.
Yeah.
You know, stay in a tent and camp. There's nothing wrong with that, Sonar. I mean, you know, I don't like the heat. And they said, Joe, where are you going to take your 10-year-old son?
To the heat?
Vegas, baby. But I tell you what, we got off the plane, though, Ryan. It was 112, Sonar.
Yeah.
And my son just gasped. He was, I was like, no, it's a dry heat, okay?
Well, that's BS.
I said, it's a dry heat. Just relax. It's going to be okay.
Ty was out there the week before you, and he said it was
murder, man. It was murder. We got my son, and my son's a sweater. You know, he's kind of a ginger with that soft skin. And I said, we're going to be okay. But now we had a great time. You know, went out, Sonar, you'll love this, went over to the outlets, Ryan.
Yeah.
And my son and I, we bought all polo gear. So we dressed in all polo gear for the big fight. And won a little money on Bud. You know, kind of felt like Bud would do it. Bud dominated Ariel Spence. And what happened was Spence had to come in at 147 pounds. It was just too light for Spence. And Spence was working hard in that Texas heat trying to drop weight, Dave. And the day before on the weigh-in, he looked so uncomfortable and so miserable to make weight. And I think what happened is sometimes those guys can bounce back in a day and put the weight back on. I don't think I'm not making excuses for him because I think Crawford's a better fighter, but I just don't think he ever recovered. And if I was his management or trainer, we don't fight at 147 again. I say to Crawford, I say, look, bud, I made this fight happen at 147. Congratulations, man. You're getting all the accolades. You deserve them. Now you owe me a favor. Let's do this again at 154. Now, if they do it again, they have a rematch clause at 147. That shouldn't happen. I don't want to see that fight. I would like to see Spence come in at his natural 154. Bud can bump up a little bit and let those guys mix it up, man. But Eminem came out with Bud. That was sweet, man.
That's sweet.
Lose yourself, man. It was rocking, man. And it was a pro Bud Crawford crowd. And I'm telling you, man, a lot of those ladies in Vegas don't wear much. And I kind of had to talk to my son. I said, now. He said, that night you're going to see some stuff out here. But it was awesome. They loved my son because he was in that full polo outfit. So those pretty black ladies just loved my son. They all want to take a picture with him. They were telling him how clean he was. He says, Dad, I am clean. I said, no, that's slang for you looking good. We had a shower. We're good. But it was... But the tap, then the kicker was when the fight was over, we walked out of the T-Mobile Arena. Mike Tyson was walking in front of us.
Really?
So, yeah. So, and you know what? I'll tell you what, man. Iron Mike's on ours probably about like, how old do you think he is, Dave? Late 50s?
Oh, I bet he's in his 60s now.
He looks good. Yeah. I mean, he's still... he's older. He has that stocky build. He still is put together. There's some guys that just like, on
Instagram you see a bunch of videos of him doing his workout.
He looks good.
Don't get in the ring with him.
I tell you what, for that age, man. I mean, you talk about somebody aging. Believe it or not, Iron Mike. Somebody aging gracefully.
Yeah.
So we loved it, Ryan. Man, it was
LeBron should take some notes.
I tell you what, he was in great shape. We got a chance to walk over. I think it was Draymond Green had his fully loaded Mercedes-Benz parked across the way at the MGM.
Wow.
I think those rims on that vehicle had to be $30, $40, $50, $60,000. So we went outside and kind of stood around the NBA guys.
Man,
you should saw them, Ryan. They all had their posse. Russell Westbrook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was out there. They're all
Wow.
out there, man. They had their cars lined up out there, Dave. And I was
That's
just
cool.
like, wow, man.
I bet Max liked that.
He loved it, man. He loved it.
that's
He was
cool.
into the cars. Vegas was great, man. The fight was. I really enjoyed it. There's nothing like a big prize fight being there. Just you can feel the electricity in the air, but it really wasn't much of a fight. I mean,
No.
Bud is. I tell you what, I thought it was one of the most impressive performances I've seen. I've been a fight fan, been to many fights. I went to the Pac-Man, Oscar De La Hoya fight. Been to a lot of different fights over the years, but I thought that was one of the best performances.
That's awesome.
Well, you had a little bit more excitement than I did, but Friday was in the Leo football golf outing.
Yeah, how was that? They asked me to come sonar, but I don't really golf, man. To me, you know what golf is? Now, Ryan, you correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Golf is like playing fetch for adults, you know? Like, I hit it, and I got to go find it. That's if I can find it.
Me, I play Frisbee golf. So
Hey, yeah, no,
Joe,
that's
do you?
good.
Joe, it'd be hard for you. Now, you could probably crush a ball.
I can crush it, but you know what my issue is, too? I don't see real well anymore. You know, I don't know if you knew this.
I play on Thursdays. I play with my good buddy, and he's blind in one eye.
Oh, is he really? And he can still get out there and play, huh?
He plays, well, actually today, I was getting close to the golf cart, and I go on his left side, and I've been friends with him forever, and I know he's blind.
Yeah.
I get up on his left side, and he turns around and almost hit me. He goes, dude, you know I'm freaking blind.
That's great.
Don't walk up on that side.
Don't walk up on that side. So,
But-
how was the Leo golf outing?
Packed. But I'm telling you,
Was Brock shot out there? Is he getting bigger?
he was not.
Okay.
But it was brutal heat.
Oh, man, yeah.
Where'd you
it's-
guys play at?
Noble Hawk.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, really?
And I'm telling
That's
you,
cool.
that's my first time at Noble Hawk, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
By the
no,
way,
Noble Hawk, awesome.
I did get close to the pin on 15.
Well, let's go.
There you go.
Let's go, man. Let's
So,
go.
but
Johnny Z, I saw Johnny Z's outfit out there, man.
He's
He was-
always got an outfit.
He's always got an outfit, man. You kind of
Yep. He was with
shouts out to Johnny Z.
his good buddy Shane.
Yeah, they were having a good time, weren't they?
Yeah. And then
Dean was out there with Jason and everybody.
Dean, Ernie Bodrab was out there.
Oh, Ernie Bodrab
Yeah.
was out. Oh, you guys had everybody out there.
I was shocked to see Ernie because I mean from Northrop, but
Yeah.
Dean, Dale won it.
Jake
Yeah.
was that Jake
I'm not-
Wonderland's partner? You know? Jake Wonderland?
Yeah,
He was
that's-
in-
that's-
I'm not surprised. Dale is such a good. You know what? Dale's such a good golfer, but Dale was a good athlete in his time too.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, I had my cousin play, and he's 63 and a half. The rules is 64. Well, you get a hit from the seniors, there's a big difference.
Oh yeah,
So, and plus, if you're a good golfer like Dale,
sure.
plus, I mean,
Child play for money.
child play.
Dale win anything?
Oh, yeah. Dale won, well, he gave the money back.
Yeah, of course he did. He's Dale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course he did.
First and second place give the money back.
Wow.
So Jason,
Good time.
Jason did well.
Yeah. That's great. It was good to see the programs get
You got-
supported and man, Ryan, I know you're a basketball guy, but as
Yeah.
camps open up for football, do you get a little excited about football, or are you just so focused in
yeah.
on your basketball, or what's that for you?
No, yeah, no. I mean, I played football growing up as well, so I've been a football guy. It's awesome to see. I don't really have a specific NFL team per se.
What about your old high school team?
Those guys,
Are
man,
real.
that's a small college over there. Man.
It is, man.
I'm telling
It
you.
is.
I'm telling you, I've heard some new things about a brand new weight room going in over there. And
Oh, I know.
Really?
And that
Yeah.
and that youth program. Shouts
Yeah.
out to the Carroll Youth Program. What,
Yeah.
270, Dave?
Oh, by the way, I reached out to Brian Nix today,
Yeah, that's what
and I'm going to give this assistant coach a call, and we're going to try to get the head coach.
Oh, that'd be great,
On
man.
the show.
I think they're doing everything right, and I
'Cause
think that's something that
11-man football with about 26 guys.
absolutely. I think that's awesome because I think that's a model for a lot of the programs, and
Yeah.
you know. And speak about that
Yeah.
for a second before we wrap up this first segment. I mean, what was it like, man, going to Carroll? I mean, obviously you shined over there playing basketball, but
Yeah.
that school is so big. Was it easy to get lost in the school, or
Oh, yeah.
or what was it like, man, to go to Carroll for you?
So the way they do it, they split you up freshman year. You're in
Ninth grade academy.
Yep, the ninth grade academy, which used to be the the old high school.
Yeah, the old high school.
So it feels like middle school a little bit again,
Uh-huh.
but you merge in with Carroll Middle.
Yeah.
So you have more people, but it's in the same area. And then you go to 10th through 12th grade is over at the big side. That's where it gets really
Gets real, huh?
Gets real. Like I see new people every day. I saw a new person every day.
Wow,
every
every
day of high
day,
school
man.
for
Wow.
3 years.
And it's not stopping. They are
No,
going to be the biggest.
Yeah, that's
they're
what
going to be
Dave
bigger than
says.
Carmel.
Dave says they'll be the biggest school in the northern part of the state.
I heard there was, I think, almost 3,000 kids by 2030.
Wow. Now,
Yeah,
let me
that's
ask you this
crazy.
about Carroll High School.
Yeah.
What was that one teacher or coach, man, that just meant the world to you over there? And when you look back at Carroll High School, you know, what's that teacher or that coach that you think of?
I would just say my basketball coach, Marty Beasley.
Yeah.
He,
Good
you know,
guy.
he got a lot of hate for how hard he coached, but I mean, he prepared me for college basketball better than anyone had ever any trainer, any coach.
Because you had you were able to slide into Trine.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not easy to do, to make that transition from high school to college.
I mean, it was tough love. Like he told you what you needed to hear, not what you wanted to hear. So he really prepared me for that. He helped me. He still keeps in contact with me.
It's great. So you always felt like he was tough, but he always had your back?
Always, yeah. I mean, he came to my graduation party, he came to my graduation, all that stuff. The little things that really mattered to me comes to my college games still. So
it comes to your college games?
Yeah,
that's cool,
does.
man.
Well, I mean,
that's awesome. That's that relationship.
Yeah. So
it was a great move on his part to go to DeKalb.
Yeah. He's liking it a lot better over there from a flexibility standpoint.
And pay standard.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. But he was a good guy. He really helped me, and he helped Jalen as well.
Yeah.
I think the world of him.
And speaking of Jalen, up next, a name spoken with pride in the 260.
Yep.
Are we bringing them both on at the same time?
You want them both on, or what do you want to start with? Okay, we'll bring them both.
Both.
So not only a name spoken with pride with Jalen Jackson, another name is becoming very well known with the referee circles and Jordan Love. So, and up next, my friend, you are in charge. It's your show. We're going to call this the summer final for Ryan Preston. Up next on the 260.
That professor better give you an A.
Podcast, live from Spiece Fieldhouse every Thursday at 7 p.m., highlighting all Indiana sports, featuring guests from the 260 area code and beyond. Live on YouTube every Thursday at 7 p.m. Just search the 260. Also available anywhere you find your podcasts. And remember, when searching, there are no zeros in the 260. It's the 260 Podcast, live from Spiece Fieldhouse every Thursday at 7 p.m.
It feels like we're taking the crown. It feels like we were born to be champions. We were born to be champions. We were born to have a name in the lights, 'cause we're taking a ride to the top, to the top. Born to be champions. We were born to be champions.
What's going on, everybody? I'm in the driver's seat right now. My name's Ryan Preston. Joe passed it off to me. Appreciate everything he's done. I'm excited to be here. I'm with my boy Jalen Jackson, my boy Jordan Love. We got Dave here. We're just going to talk some hoops here. So, Jalen, we're going to start with you, man. Basketball has done a lot for you. You've been in the gym early with your mom. Kind of talk about that relationship with your mom and growing up with your sisters in the gym.
So my mom played actually in college. She went to Loyola for 2 years and then played at PFW for the next 2. So just having her in my background to, start is obviously like basically a cheat code, having someone who's been in that position playing Division I basketball, which is something that every kid wants to do when they grow up. So just having that for me and my sisters and being able to have that extra outlet to see how she did it, see what steps she did in the process and stuff.
That's got to be a tremendous help to growing up your whole life.
No, yeah, it was, and then just having 3 sisters now. 2 of them are at Valpo now,
right.
So we're just we just got one more,
They liking
my
it?
little sister. No, yeah, they like it a lot at Valpo.
That's awesome.
So.
What age is the youngest?
My youngest sister's about to be a sophomore at Northrop.
So she's a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whole family of ballers, Dave.
Yeah, your mom.
How about
she was
that?
a Northside girl, wasn't she?
Yeah, she went to Northside.
Yeah.
They call it the River Rats.
Yeah.
It was crazy though, because I remember Jalen was like this tall, running around here at Spiece. Katie's
Yeah.
training.
Yeah.
The girls are tiny. Now they're Twin Towers, going off to college.
Each
Man.
like 6 foot. You know.
Oh, yeah, they're-
Now they got taller since they were little. Because Jordan used to ref our games with my mom when they used to ref here at Spiece. Now it's all changed. So,
And it's funny how the three of you, two of them actually work for you now and then in your landscape company.
Yep. Part-time hard workers right here.
the rain was the worst day we had by far.
So like I told you, I did landscape for 30 years, and like all the waterfalls you see in Fort Wayne, me and my ex-boss, we put them all in.
Yeah.
So like a Noble Hawk,
Oh yeah.
I touched every one of those rocks.
Wow.
Me and my boss.
That's an awesome entrance, though.
We put
that's sweet.
every one of those rocks we touch.
Wow.
So landscaping,
Very detailed.
I started when I was 14, and it's a full body workout all day long.
Especially in that rain, because then that adds like 10 pounds to the mulch.
Yeah.
You gotta wheel it all the way to where we were at.
And your boss don't let you take your shirts off, so you're soaked.
Yeah,
keep it
he just
PG.
doesn't want to get shown up. He don't want to get shown up. That's what's going on. All right, Jordan. So tell us a little bit about your background, growing up, playing basketball, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So, just like you guys, man, you guys are basketball players. The reason I decided to start refereeing was because of simply my love for the game of basketball. And, when I was younger playing basketball, I was that kid on the team that gave the referees a headache. And if back,
You
my
mean your
freshman
mouth was running?
Exactly. You're gonna get your money's worth. I feel like you're cheating me. And as I got going, when I was a sophomore in high school, if somebody would tell me that I was gonna be a college basketball referee when I grow up, be like, you're crazy. There's no way. Like confrontation, blowing the whistle, dealing with people. No, I had a family friend back in 2013. I was a freshman in college, reached out to me a couple times, was like, hey, do you want to try refereeing? And I was like, no way.
Yep.
And so finally he comes to me again, third time's the charm. And he's like, man, just try it. So I'm like, okay, I'll try it. So I bought all the little starter package, big shirt,
The Dollar Tree whistle.
yeah, it had the Dollar Tree P whistle, big shoes, long pants, and started refereeing. As a matter of fact, I was just telling the guys, started refereeing here at Spiece, and when you first get started, you're working for free, and basically they just want you to start getting used to blowing the whistle.
Literally working for free.
Literally working for free. Yeah.
You don't get paid.
No. Might be the one part-time job or job.
Then why wouldn't you do it?
I'm saying it's hard enough, man.
Yeah, get yelled at by all the
I tell you
parents.
what, yeah,
Really,
parents.
and I think in the beginning, I think I tried it because I knew that I wasn't going to do it. And I was kind of wanted to just satisfy my buddy, be like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I tried it. I did it. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But started blowing the whistle, man, and I'm like, okay, this isn't too bad. And then that first basketball season came around, was doing lower level elementary, middle school, and then doing freshman JV games, and just like, okay, I weirdly like it. Then started building my network around Fort Wayne, and then I was gonna start to get some varsity experience. And before I even refereed a varsity game, one of my mentors around here was like, you should think about going to a college referee camp. And I'm like, a college referee camp? I haven't even refereed a varsity high school game.
Right.
Yeah. So I did my first year of varsity, and then that next summer I went to camp. And I went to
Where's that at?
So I went to 3 different small college camps. The one was up at Michigan State in the Breslin Center. The other one was at Oakland University over in like Rochester Hills, Michigan. And then the other one was in Indianapolis. And went there simply just to learn the college mechanics, rules, because there's definitely some differences between high school and refereeing.
So
just from the mechanics. And I was there just to learn that. And ended up getting hired by all 3 of them, which kind of blew my mind.
That's awesome.
And
Big time.
Is that because they're in such a shortage?
So there's definitely a shortage in the high school realm. The college is just a little bit different because it is a little bit more competitive, so when you're doing the college, really the first thing they're looking for is like, okay, what's this guy look like? As weirdly as it sounds, how does he run?
Yep.
And how does he carry himself? Like, because you can tell right away. When I started doing these camps, and one of the clinicians, one of the evaluators on the court would say, I could tell you could referee in the first 3 minutes. I'm like, wait, what? And now I watch somebody run up and down the court a few times, and I can just tell if they can referee or if they even have the feel and the capability to be a good referee. So anyways, started going to all these training camps, college camps, and then I did 2 years of small college. And then I was living in New York. I had just graduated from PFW, and was living in New York. And I was back and forth on going to a Big Ten camp. And finally, my mentor was like, "The longer you wait, the more you're going to delay yourself."
Yep.
So I ended up going to this Big Ten camp. Flew from New York over to Indianapolis. Things just kind of went well, and I got hired in 2017.
So you basically skipped high school.
No, he's big time.
No, I'm not big time. I'm not big time.
Not yet.
High
He'll
school.
be in the NBA next. Don't worry.
Did you even do high school?
I did a couple seasons of high school.
So did you work with James?
James Payne?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my guy.
He was our second show we did.
Yeah,
We had him on.
That's my guy. There's several guys around here that have been tremendous help to me, and I could name them all right now.
Yeah.
See,
if I wouldn't want to leave somebody
that's
out.
what I was telling you before. My good buddy is Brian Bollinger, and he's the NFL ref from Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I go, well, why'd you do it? What made you want to become a ref? He goes, I miss Friday Night Lights. Is it the same for you?
Yeah, it's what I tell people. When people ask me what's my favorite part about being a referee, it's the best seat in the house. You guys have a really good seat in the house, but guess what?
Yeah.
You guys are getting 35 minutes a game, but I'm getting 40 minutes a game.
I mean, I still got that same experience because my mom actually did ref with Jordan some too. So it's like,
Oh, she has her license.
oh yeah, she ref played. She had then she had 4 kids, so she had to stop.
So is PFW? Who are they playing in the Big Ten this year?
We don't have our schedule yet, but I know we're playing Pittsburgh and DePaul, so should be 2 good games.
I was going to see if he was going to do one of your games.
Nah, that'd be cheating. You can't have 2 Fort Wayne guys in there.
Hey, Jordan might be coming up to a trying though. He said he might be coming to one or 2 games up there. So
Really?
That is one of the small college leagues that I work, the MIAA. And so I'll go up to trying a few times.
Better give them all the calls.
I know, that's what I was telling him. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's an interesting story. A lot of people don't realize what goes into reffing, or like the small things like mechanics or your like build, because you go to the college level, you don't see any big refs running around, out of shape refs
Besides James Payne.
Well, yeah, in high school it's different, obviously. And then you go to an AU tournament, you can have anybody. You can have 2 guys off the street because there's a shortage.
Part of our problem.
Yeah.
Or from like Ohio or Michigan.
Yeah, just like all over the
you
place.
always see that.
Really.
So Jay, just to like come off the AAU experience, man, talk about the Spiece, what you grew up around, the gym rats, and then what that followed into your junior summer, playing EYBO, Peach Jam, all that experience.
So I've been Spiece faithful, I'd say. Like, I played Wolfpack, I played Indiana Gym Rats. Those are some of the best times I ever had as a kid growing up, just playing with like, all the kids around here that are in the SAC now, seeing everybody go to college. Like, we had like Reggie Bass, who's at Kent State on our team. We had Connor Sejan on our team, Ashton Johnson. And keep going down the list with all these guys who are in college now, playing. And so just growing up with that was pretty cool. And then grew up, kept playing whatever teams that came out, like Indiana Gym Rats Next Level. Then they just came to Gym Rats. And then when I got to high school, I tried out for the EYBL team, and I was told I wasn't good enough to play for them. So my freshman year, sophomore year, and halfway through my junior year, I played on just the Indy Heat Red team, which is the second team. So we would always just be playing here at Spiece. And that's where kind of like the recruitment I always wanted to play at the next level, especially after sophomore year of high school. Just being around that, and I knew that AAU would be the best shot for me, so I knew how to get better.
Right.
And like I'm always being told by the UIBL guys, it's like, I'm not good enough. I need to work on this. I need to work on that. I go to the mini camps. I outperform a lot of the guys who are on the team.
Yeah.
And I just kind of always just believed in. My mom always told me just like to wait my turn. So
Yep.
halfway through my junior year, I got a call and I got asked to move up to the UIBL team, and that was probably my best like AAU performance because we went on a Peach Jam during the COVID, and usually they have like 4 different locations throughout the AAU summer where you go and you play like 4 games and stuff. But our year we had to be down there in Atlanta for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And every college coach in the country is at our games. Literally, I remember we played Shaden Sharp,
Yep.
who's now on the Blazers.
Yep.
Didn't even
Some
play
big
in
names down there, man.
Didn't even play in college.
Yeah.
He went to UK and just trained.
Yeah.
Went to Kentucky and just trained. I remember we had Calipari, everybody at our game, and I almost had a triple double. And in a week I had 15 Division I offers, and
That's awesome.
never thought I would be able to play at this level.
Yeah, man. That's
Where,
awesome.
Where did you get your motor from?
My motor,
Because, I remember watching you play at Northrop, and I'm just like, the kid has a motor. He's up and down quick.
That's that Katie Jackson factor.
that is.
That's what I was saying.
My mom, she did a little bit of everything when she played. Like her mindset that she tries to instill in all of my siblings is just always outwork the person next to you and never be satisfied with what you do. And so just having that always drilled into my mind as a kid. I feel like that's where it really came from because she just did a little bit of everything. And
Did she ever let you play football?
I did play football actually.
I would have loved to seen you be a running back.
I didn't.
You're a good receiver.
My first, Ryan knows, my freshman year, I was every bit of 135.
That's it.
I was skinny. I was
His calves
small.
were bigger than his whole body.
My
That's what we
calves-
call them. We call them
I
watermelon
used to
calves.
call them watermelon calves. That's the name I got in high school from Ryan and all them. And then from freshman year to sophomore year, I put on 50 pounds of muscle from the strength coaches because they were like, you need to get bigger. Because I grew to 6 foot 6'1". And then I just been 190, 195. And then when I got there, I played receiver at Carroll.
So you had hands.
Yeah, I've always played receiver my whole life, receiver, quarterback. And then I got a concussion from practice because they switched me to quarterback for a day, and I got a concussion. And then I just gave up on football after that before season even started. So
Kind of talk about going to the strength and development. Carroll's program, in my opinion, helped me a lot, teach me the basics of lifting. Coming in, I was probably skinnier than you as a freshman, and that just helped me build a foundation that I still use today. And then kind of, me and you start going over to PSM, Parkview Sports Medicine. Shout out Tyler Palmer.
SRT Palm.
But we've been going there for, 4 years?
4 years since
4
eighth
years.
grade
Just talk about, how you managed in high school even, practice. We would go over to PSM. That's not in anything basketball related outside of just practice. That's Jamal Howell, whoever else you're working out with. How did you manage all these workouts in high school, and has that carried over into college, and how do you do that?
I'd say college is completely different than high school. I mean, I feel like high school lays the foundation of what it's going to be like in college, but until people want to say they want to play in college until the grind actually hits, because a lot of them
And
just,
school.
and school, and a lot of them just think it's just basketball. That's the problem with that. But even for refs, it's like with Jordan, you just traveling all the time.
My son played at St. Francis.
Yeah.
Both my sons played college baseball. My youngest at St. Francis, and it's a 24-hour job.
It's
100%.
High school, I mean, you had to go to school, obviously, and so
But you can
have
get
that.
away with.
But you get away with a lot of stuff just because.
Not in college.
Just because of that. So during the season, you could still work out with other people after practice and stuff. So I do that maybe a couple times a week. But I kind of stayed persistent with the lifting just because people would try to say that me being strong was an issue. But I'm not even the strongest guy in college. Especially at the D1 level. The dudes are grown men. I'm 19 years old as of a month ago, and I'm playing against 25-year-old grown men who've been in college for 6-7 years.
That's the whole thing
of
the pandemic.
Yeah.
You got, I think it's going to be over now, but you got guys 25 years old
Yeah.
still playing baseball.
Yeah.
You know,
We got a few guys on our team that are just turned 23 and they still have 3 years eligibility.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, recruiting is so different now. I understand from a business perspective, you know, the coaches want people and they want them fast that they can make an impact right away.
Experience.
Yeah, experience. And I get it. But at the same time, that's also hurting a kid 17, 16 years old out of high school.
oh, when it first happened, guys,
Like
when the pandemic first happened, you got guys that think they have a scholarship.
Yeah.
And now, we got guys that can come back.
Yeah.
These guys are out of luck.
That's what I was going. My junior year. So when the AAU junior summer, that was it. Like there was no Division I coaches looking for anybody really, and like a lot of the scholarships were taken up because they didn't even know if we were going to play a season or whatever. So, you know, recruiting itself just for my whole class was hard unless you had like offers before the pandemic period, which was very rare because we were all like 15 years old. So that's, you know, very rare. But I'm fortunate. Trine found me. Coaches really wanted me.
And that's the biggest thing.
Go where you want it.
You know, Jalen, we want to have you on and talk to the younger kids and talk about the grind that you go through.
Yeah.
But the other thing is you got to go where you're wanted.
No, that's
Absolutely.
true. I mean, even if kids go where it sounds the best, but they don't understand, like we're talking about, like the grind that you have to go through, like summers. Like you don't get a summer in college, especially at the highest level. Like
I just found out today, my daughter-in-law's nephew, he plays for TCU.
Yeah.
He's from Lima, Ohio. Stud. But he didn't even get to come home this year.
Yeah, no.
Because, I mean, they're still down there in that heat, and they're working out.
Especially
That's how serious it gets
Yeah.
at the highest
Yeah.
levels.
No, especially if you have like a foreign tour, you go overseas.
Yep. Like Purdue's leaving tomorrow.
Usually they take that time, and it's usually close to August, and that's like the only break you get. So for us, I know we started the first week of June. I moved into my apartment. We had workouts and stuff, and we literally just got done today. We get 2 weeks off, so everyone gets to go home. But usually teams got like a foreign tour that they go on like right now.
Yep.
But just even in the summer, it's still busy. Like we still got workouts, lifting, conditioning every day with on top of like summer classes and getting your extra workouts in. So it's even like it's still busy. But then like the real grind starts when school hits, when you got 20 hours of practice a week. You got traveling to other schools the day before. You'll be gone from sometimes even if you're going like a Thanksgiving tournament or stuff like that. You'll be gone for 6-7 days. Like it's a grind.
So I want to see what you do because I have a little routine I do. You travel a little bit more than me, but what if you have, say you have a big tournament or, you know, you're traveling for 2-3 days, you have a whole week of school, what is your priorities? What are your routines to get that work done so you don't fall behind? Because after a game, I'm telling you what, you do not want to be sitting doing whatever homework you have due at 11:59 at night on a Sunday, because that's the worst feeling ever, and you just don't do it usually. So I just want to see what you do.
So last year, I know we had like away games at UIC, and what I do is like usually a week in advance, we would meet with our academic coach like once a week. So if we had a game on like a Wednesday, I would meet my academic coach usually once a week, and we had meetings on Wednesday. But you know, just like you said, like Carol, it didn't only prepare me for just like the strength and basketball part, but like academically, they push you like so you ready for college, and you know, with the time management stuff. So
Absolutely.
So like Mondays usually we'd have practice, and then so I'd try to get my schoolwork done, and then I'd have to email my professors that I had class with on like Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday to make sure I didn't miss any work.
Yeah.
So we would leave on Tuesday. If we had a game on Wednesday, we would leave like Tuesday in the morning, and usually the bus rides were probably about a good like 5 hours.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Good luck. Unless we flew a private jet.
See, like at
so
St.
we flew
Francis,
a couple of those, yeah.
they have to they start in February, and they have to go to Tennessee to play.
Yeah.
So that's 7-8 hour bus trips.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Especially especially on top with all the homework and stuff, it goes by fast. Just because like you could usually I do my homework on the bus if I had any.
Yeah.
I just connect to my hotspot, and then we would get down there. We would have practice, dinner, film, and then if you had any other homework, you just do it the night before the game. Because usually like they want us in bed by like 10, 11.
Yeah.
So like we would get there around like 5, 6, practice, eat, 8, film, we get done around like 9. So
Yeah.
I'd be doing homework from like 9:30 to 11, then just lay down, and then we'd have the game the next day. Sometimes I do homework before, like when we have like a 4-hour break before the
Long
game
break,
and stuff,
yep.
after shoot around and before pregame meal and stuff. And then sometimes you just have to take one for the team.
Take one for
Just
the team,
Do the homework
yeah.
after the game.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like high school
I've
where you
done
can
that
like
before.
push it off, but
Yeah.
you could definitely do it after the game too. I've definitely got caught in that before.
Yep.
Just doing it after the
I had
game,
to.
just to make sure like I'm on top of my stuff. So.
Right.
Hey, Jordan, just here in their schedule, you own a landscape company.
Yeah.
They're going to be starting in November.
Yep.
You still got leaves.
Yep.
How you gonna be doing that?
I'm thankful for having good workers. I have some guys that work for me that, man, I'm really thankful to have on my team.
You gotta
and I
have
can trust
those.
them. They know what the heck they're doing. And because if I didn't have them, I would probably stress out a little bit
Yeah.
more. And a couple of the guys, I've tried to explain. I'm like, no, look, like once mid-October hits, like I'm gonna be gone.
Yeah.
You know, like you see me here every day. You see me with facial hair, but mid-October, I'm gonna be clean shaved and I'm gonna be gone. Like
Yeah.
you don't really understand.
Where do you open up at? You got any tournaments?
So I don't have my schedule yet. Typically, exhibition games will start late October. Big Ten, MAC, Summit, Horizon League games, and then sometime in November, typically I'll go do like a destination tournament, like something like a Fort Myers or like a Phoenix or something like
But
that.
you got to pay for that.
To get there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit, Jordan.
Because like my buddy is in the NFL, he don't pay for it.
Yeah. Talk
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. So
They
yeah.
pay for room and board too.
So like,
In
so
NFL.
So
nice.
as college basketball referees, we're independent contractors, whereas like the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, they're a union. So they're salaried, there's bonuses, there's benefits. Us, like I said, we're independent contractors.
I don't think the NFL's went union yet.
That's a possible good point.
Baseball is, basketball is.
Okay, but I think technically they're full-time employees
So
of the
I mean,
NFL.
he makes a shit ton of money, but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not.
I mean, this dude big time right here. We're
So-
gonna see him on Big Ten Network.
So-
That's why I told him if I was
ESPN.
him, I'd stay in college.
Yeah.
So what you have to do once it kind of like takes off and is a little bit more serious, you know, you're running a business, and so like I have an LLC set up.
You got
from
two
a basketball.
businesses.
Yeah, so I have 2 businesses. Yes, and so you write off all your mileage, all your flights, all your hotels. Like this weekend, I'm getting ready to fly out to Minneapolis for like a referee social event, and so like
Cool, man.
I'll write that off, and like the rental car that I'll pick up.
So you're getting shit ton of points.
Yeah, but I was just telling my buddy today. He's like, "Oh, do you have status?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have status." I said, "But the only thing about status means you're spending too much money and you're gone too much." You know, because in the beginning, I remember like, "Oh man, like I want the top Marriott status, I want the top Delta status." But at the end of the day, all that means is you're gone a lot from your
Red
family.
Room Finn's all right now.
Sweet life.
Right, and I have an almost 6-year-old little girl, and so in the winters, man, it's tough leaving her for sure. But I'm really thankful. I have her mom is amazing and understands.
Like
and
Brian, I mean,
good support system.
Sunday game, he leaves, I think, Saturday.
Yeah, I think in the NFL they have to get there the day before. Yeah.
So are you the same thing, or
So it just depends.
are you day of?
If I'm coming from a game the night before, I will either start driving right after that game, or if I have an early, typically I like to get the 5 a.m., 6 a.m. first flight out the next morning. So then I'm flying in day of to the next game, but I try to get in about 12, 1 o'clock for like a 7 o'clock tip. That way I can get a nap in, get a workout, good light lunch,
Workout
dinner.
before the game.
Yeah.
You gotta look swole. You gotta look swole.
I'm listening to you guys
What?
talk.
Have you seen the picture of him that you put up?
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
got the tight shirt on.
Oh yeah, no,
this
that's
is medium.
Look at
This is
the
red
medium
right
right
there.
now, man. Mediums are essential.
No, but seriously, guys, like, I'm listening to you guys talk like, you know, at that level, like college basketball referees, you know, we're athletes too.
Absolutely.
And like one way to separate yourself from the next guy I learned quick was, you know, fitness, physique. And so during the season, like if you know, yeah, we run a lot, but you know, and everybody has their own fitness goals. I like to lift weights. And I'm also shorter, so I like to put on a little bit, you know,
Yeah,
'cause
you
I
gotta
don't have the
even
size.
it out. You
I
gotta even
forget
it
how
out.
many
Exactly.
miles Brian runs on the cardio.
Yeah, so we run like 3-4 miles a game.
Yeah.
And then people are like, "Do you do cardio in the winter?" And I'm like,
That is my
like that's
cardio.
my cardio. Yeah, you want to like, so it's like basically like if you know 4 times 6, you know what I mean, 24 miles a week on average,
And you're sprinting.
and you're
basically.
sprinting
Yeah,
and you're
you-
stopping, starting, stop, starting.
Yeah,
It's
that-
almost like a hit workout. Really.
Yeah, no, it
Like,
is.
have you seen any refs with like a weird run in the game?
Oh
And they
yeah.
I've seen like weird videos like that, just like dudes running the weirdest form ever.
The high knees.
High knees, yeah. That's
So,
cool, man. All right, Jay. Well, I kind of want to transition to your college game. You know, went to UIC first year, had a good learning experience. Got some good playing time here and there. Then you came home. You're enjoying it. It sounds like
Nothing like the fort.
PFW
Nothing like the fort.
260.
That's what kids, they don't understand that until they get away and they're like, damn.
Yeah. So here, that's what I kind of want to touch on, man. What were your first year struggles being away from home in a big city by yourself, first time, college basketball? Tell us about it.
I'd say my first year was like really just like a life lesson, you know, like it's
Yep.
the first time you really go away. But I feel like, you know, my mom prepared me enough for that, you know, being raised by a single mom. I feel like, you know, taking care of my sisters, you know, my
Yep.
whole life. It's just like now I know what I need to do while I'm living on my own. I need to, you know, do my own laundry, do the dishes and stuff like that. Stuff that, you know, I don't personally like doing.
Right.
But it's just
Yeah.
like sometimes
Yeah.
you
You
got to get the job done. So
Yeah.
I'd say probably being injured after I started the first probably like 8 games of the year.
Yeah.
In December, I sprained 4 ligaments in my right ankle,
Yep.
and I was out for like 4 weeks.
That's damn near a broken ankle.
Yeah, no, it sucked.
Same as a broken ankle.
It sucked.
Yep.
It was,
Ligaments.
It was like the first 5 minutes of practice too.
Yeah.
Oh, it was in
Yeah,
practice.
it was in practice, and
That's the worst, man.
trying to
That's
like, you know,
frustrating.
come
Yeah,
back
it's so
after,
frustrating.
you know, I've put in so much time and effort in the gym to
Yeah.
translate my game and just develop so much more.
Yeah.
That's probably like my first like roadblock I hit.
Mhm.
And then come back. I know my coach was big on earning your playing time in practice, and so, and I still believe that to this day, that you got to earn your playing time in practice. So
Yep.
when I think halfway through January hit, I started playing more. February hit, I started again, and February is probably the best month of basketball I ever had in my life.
Yep.
Won newcomer of the week.
I got your stats right here, man.
Yeah, I had like four 20-point or like 3 20-point games in a row.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, it was a great time.
That dog was coming out.
Yeah, no.
What's that
it
feel
was
like,
fun.
Jordan, to know him since he's a little kid and to see this happen?
I'm so proud of this guy. Yeah, like his mom is one of the most amazing women ever, and his whole family is super cool. And I know Jalen's worked really hard for this. I remember there was probably like a 2 or 3 year gap where I hadn't seen Jalen, and then when I saw him, I'm like, dude, where did you go? You were down here, now you're up
Yeah.
here.
And then he asked me to work.
Yeah.
In the rain.
Hey, I have a
In the
landscaping
rain.
business.
Yeah.
I could use you.
He's got a nice
In
looking
the
body.
rain.
He can lift a lot of rocks.
In the rain.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I mean, my first year of college, you know, it's a big jump. Just everybody's bigger. Everyone's more athletic. They're older than you. I went into a team. There was 3 of us incoming freshmen. Everyone else was a senior, basically, that are a junior. So they all know the ropes. You gotta learn the system. You gotta learn it fast, and you gotta be ready to play
And
if
stay
you
out
get
of their
in.
way.
And stay
No,
out of the way.
true.
So like you had a lot more opportunity your freshman year than I did. But this past year I had the same situation. Starting got hurt, rolled my left ankle 3 times in November, got sick, and kind of dealing with that thing. Like, man, like I worked so hard, you know, and then all of a sudden it just boom hits, and then you can't perform the way you want to, but you know you can at a level when you're healthy. But your coach doesn't have time to like wait for you. You know, so I think that's the business side of college. Like, a lot of young kids don't understand, like, everyone's going through something, whether that's mentally, you know, emotionally, physically. Like, you got to keep pushing. And that's probably the hardest part of college sports, because you got to perform when the lights hit, when all those people are watching you. They don't see you after the game or at practice when you crying or whatever, when you hurting, you know. So you just you gotta find somewhere mentally to go and kind of like hide it and just perform and show out what you've been working for your whole life to get to that point. So that, I think, speaking of kids, you got a kids camp coming up.
Yeah,
tomorrow,
dude,
right?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow,
at 9 a.m. You gotta
9 a.m.
And where's that at?
It's at Sport One.
Sport One.
Yep, with PSM. I did a NIL deal partnership with them.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
One
That's
of the
cool,
things I could do is, you know, just something.
What
I
do you
could-
hear? You did one with Auburn too, didn't you?
I started with them, but
What are you hearing about that, man?
I don't even think they're doing anything anymore. I still have love for Grant and Rod because they're just. I've always known them my whole life, and I know we did something cool for Mark Davidson when he passed away for our game. So I've always been close with them.
We had Jimmy on, and
Kellen.
yeah, the Kellen, he's got a future.
No, he's pretty good. He got the offer.
He's tall now.
UCF and all that.
I saw him a couple
He
days
came
ago.
in here, and I looked at him against Joe, and I'm like, damn.
Oh yeah, he's grown at least 2 inches since last time I've seen him, and that's been like a year ago.
Yeah.
He's
Like
he's
6'9",
so-
6'10"
and
now.
he's solid.
By the way, he can move too.
Yeah, he can move.
Yeah, no, he's legit. All right, Jordan, let's talk about your goals. What for the 2023-2024? You know, you're getting into the Big Ten a little bit.
Yeah.
What is that? Where you want to head towards mainly, or what's your goals?
Yeah, Dave and I were talking a little bit like about the NBA, college. So for anybody who doesn't really know, it's really a fork in the road nowadays. You used to be able to referee a little bit in the G League and still referee a little bit Division I, but now it's so separate. And I tried the NBA thing. Wasn't really for me, just based on like the mechanics, the rules, and around here there's not a lot of semi-pro leagues where you can work on that, or pro-am leagues.
The Concordia Seminary.
That's the seminary. But no, my goal is, you know, I grew up in a Big Ten basketball family. We watch Big Ten basketball every single
And
night.
you become a name in the house.
And
I remember growing up with guys, you know, they were doing every IU game.
yeah. So my goal is the Big Ten. I'm in the Big Ten consortium right now.
By the way,
which is
do they pick you?
yeah, like we
the
got hired.
schools- the school-
So we have a supervisor for each league. So the Big Ten, we have one supervisor, and then actually the
So the
MAC
colleges don't, like, Painter don't say, I want him.
Exactly. Now it wouldn't hurt if Painter's like, hey, you know,
little
Jordan. I think
influence.
Jordan's got some potential.
Yeah.
Put a bug in our supervisor ears. But no, we have coordinators who assign our games for us. So that's kind of how that works. But Big Ten's where I want to go. I bleed the Big Ten, and that's my ultimate goal.
I was
awesome.
telling him, compared to my buddy, he's 53, and he barely made the cutoff to the NFL.
Okay.
But Jordan is actually, in my opinion, ahead of him age-wise
Oh yeah, 100%.
to make it to the, because Brian did, like I said, he did POW, middle school, high school, low college, MAC, Big Ten, to the NFL. Well, he's 29.
29.
45 going on 20 for
29, he's already in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's moving fast.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. All that is one injury away, as you guys know. Like I said, we're athletes. I know plenty of guys who are going like this, having a great career. Boom, ACL.
Yeah.
You
Well, I
know,
hope that
even
doesn't
if
happen,
like
man.
A freak accident, you know, stepping on a cheerleader's foot,
Right.
You know, things like that. But I'm thankful where I'm at.
All right, guys.
Ryan,
Yeah.
I want to say the night, 2 weekends ago, 2 Friday nights ago, if you remember, I called you up.
Yeah.
Me and my wife sub in a Colonial Oaks golf couples league, and I get paired up with his mom and dad. We start talking, and you know, I go, you got any kids that played sports? And they go, well, one, he played basketball at Northrop. And I go, okay, Northrop, I know that really well. And he goes, Jordan Love. I go, yeah. The boy had a nice jumper. And I go, then it hits me. This is the kid that Ryan's been talking about.
Yeah.
He's coming on our show. And she goes, a podcast? I go, yeah. He's coming on our show. So I call him up right away. I'm like, dude, you ain't going to believe how Fort Wayne works. We're not too big. We're not too small. And everybody's connected some way. So then your mom, tell about your mom calling you.
Yep. So my mom calls me, and she's like, so I met Dave, and you're going on a show. And I'm like, well, I haven't even met Dave yet. But, yeah, I'm going on the show. I know Dave through Ryan. So it was a pleasure to meet you in person today, Dave.
Thank you.
But she just like, get out of here. It's such a small world,
That's awesome.
which it really is. But that was really cool. That was really cool.
All right, well, we're going to take a little break real quick, and then we're going to end it with
Rapid
some
fire.
goals and rapid fires. We are at the 260.
It's the 260 Podcast, live from Spiece Fieldhouse every Thursday at 7 p.m., highlighting all Indiana sports, featuring guests from the 260 area code and beyond. Live on YouTube every Thursday at 7 p.m. Just search the 260, also available anywhere you find your podcasts. And remember, when searching, there are no zeros in the 260. It's the 260 Podcast, live from Spiece Fieldhouse every Thursday at 7 p.m.
It feels like we're taking the crown. It feels like we were born to be champions. We were born to be champions. We were born to have a name in the lights, 'cause we're taking a ride to the top, to the top. Born to be champions. We were born to be champions.
All right. Dave, we got the rapid fire questions. Here we go. Jordan, I'm going to start with you first, man.
All right.
What do you do to recharge outside of landscaping, refereeing? What do you do to, recharge the batteries?
Yeah, so my recharge is hanging out with my daughter. Like I said,
Got it.
she's 5, she'll be 6 soon, and so when I'm gone all winter and all the summer, I try to spend as much time with her, and that's kind of my relaxation, is hanging out with my daughter.
That's awesome, man.
Go ahead with yours.
You won't?
Probably just hang out with my family. I'd say that's probably my recharge. Kind of just like gets my mind off everything else. I can just focus on them too. Just like Jordan said, it's like you got all the basketball stuff, all the school, all the traveling.
You
Your
just
mind's
wanna
all
chill.
over the place, and now you're just with your family, just
Leave
laughing,
friendly faces.
laughing, having a great time.
So, I know you're definitely have a major busy schedule. You do too right now. But are you watching anything on Netflix?
Money Heist.
Money Heist.
Easy answer right there. It's the best show to ever come out.
Who's in that?
I don't even. It's a foreign show. But,
Okay.
But the words don't match up. But that's not a problem with me because like you got to actually watch it.
Yeah.
To, like,
Money Heist.
Money Heist on Netflix.
Is it a new one or is it an old one?
It's new. It's new. It's like I don't know. You just gotta watch it, and you'll understand like why it's good. 'Cause
Okay.
It's like this
What about
group.
you,
We're always looking. Me
Yeah.
and my wife are always looking for shows.
No, it's like this group plans a heist, and it literally goes exactly how they say it. And they planned it like a year before it actually happened, and they did it, and then they completed the heist, and then did another one. It's crazy. So you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
Jordan.
I'm old school. Seinfeld.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I didn't even.
How many times have you watched it?
Yeah, plenty.
I was gonna say, at your age, you got probably you're in your fourth time.
My parents and I watched every single episode when I was younger, and then Seinfeld just stuck with me, man. I love that show.
Have you seen his new? He had a thing on Netflix. It was a stand-up in New York
Yeah.
City or whatever. It was like his show.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
that was the first time I ever watched him. To be honest with you, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
The whole thing about Seinfeld, it's a show about nothing.
Yeah,
They
it's
literally
he's
made
funny,
a show
though.
about
Yeah.
nothing.
Yep.
He's hilarious.
He's
though.
got some style too.
No, yeah,
Boy, Jerry.
yeah. He's
Stop
tough.
playing.
All right, next one. Let's see. I like this one. What's the best compliment you've been told? Jalen, we'll start with you. That's a tough one.
Just in general,
Yeah. What's the best? Like, what's someone could say that's the best thing?
And don't say anything about your hair.
it was gonna be about my eyes. It was gonna be about
got nice eyes.
eyes, and then hair. Probably. I mean, everyone always came up to me and said they like my green eyes and
Yeah.
like my curly hair and my tattoos. So
Classic light skin.
yeah, light skin nation. Shout out everybody. You know.
Mine would be the eyes as well. I have green eyes as well. And then like with the tan, I'd be like, "Oh, you're so tan in your
You're
eyes."
pretty dark, boy.
That's that landscaping work.
What about you, Dad? I'm curious. What's the best compliment someone could say about you?
I'm pretty loyal.
That's solid.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
That's good.
If you're my friend, I'm loyal.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good.
Now listen, past or present, anybody that you wanted to sit down and have a cup of coffee with, talk to.
Go ahead, Jay.
Tough.
I don't know. It's
a
hard.
tough one.
I'm not trying to think. Go the celebrity crush route or go like I say for me, I say probably Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant, that's my favorite NBA player. I think he's top of the best at putting the basketball in the hoop. So I just want to sit down with them and just hear his story, hear his life.
Mine is I'm like the entrepreneurial mindset. I like that. Gary Vaynerchuk, you guys know who I'm talking about? Gary V. He's got a podcast.
Yeah, Gary V. Yeah.
Just high motor, high energy.
Yep.
Business.
Sounds like something he should watch because he's got the best motor I ever saw.
That's who I'd like to have a cup of coffee with because his energy, like he's got that energy that I have, that go-getter.
Yeah. Goes to all those.
By the
like,
way,
garage
this is
sales.
show number
Yeah.
21, and those are two of the those are original answers because we've had 3 or 4 Jesuses. There's been a lot that matched up, but you two are the first two to be original.
Awesome.
That's awesome, man. All right, you got any more, Dave?
Yeah. 2 Northern boys. What is your? See, I'm not gonna let you have the Carol.
Hey,
That's fine.
I'll take. The
What is your
carrots
favorite
off
restaurant in the fort?
Favorite restaurant in the fort? I have 2.
Go ahead.
Okay, the first one is Salsa Grill.
Okay, that's a follow-up question. What's your favorite Mexican?
Los Cabos on Coldwater.
You want Mexican both?
I like Los Cabos. Los Cabos, but then Black Canyon also.
Black Canyon's probably the number 1 answer on this show.
Yeah.
I would say a sleeper. I say they got rid of it, but I don't know if y'all ever had Quaker Steak and Lube. It was right over there by Coliseum.
Never. That's that.
You never, but they used to have it.
I don't think
They used
so.
to have it, but then they got rid of it.
Yeah.
But it was really good, and I used to go there all the time.
I think it's because the
But it's
car
not
was
my-
getting ready
it's
to
not-
fall.
I know, but another one of my personal favorites is probably Applebee's. I go there.
Dude.
Applebee's.
Look, Applebee's.
Applebee's.
Half price abs.
The
man.
half
I'm
price.
telling
You
you,
got the half price.
solid.
I've
apps.
never had a bad meal at Applebee's.
You got the classic,
Hey, there's
the
Sunday.
classic combo, the 2 for
That classic
25,
combo.
2 for 30. They got all them deals right there. It's
Damn,
a good,
I'm
good
hungry
restaurant. Wait till your classic combo after
I know.
this.
I haven't eaten dinner.
For me, wings there, their wings,
Fire.
they're the best.
Fire.
Yep.
Their classic sauce on that.
Those boneless are good.
Yeah.
It's like all white meat.
Yeah,
it's like all
it's all
there-
white
there's not a
meat.
lot of like bread on
Yeah.
it. Yeah. But they do have
Got a
good
lot of these
boneless ones.
supposed wing places, and it's all batter on it.
Yep.
Give him one more, and then let's go.
All right, you want to do the final question? You want me to give him the final?
You.
All right, sounds good. So, fellas, out of your whole career, what are your favorite sports moments?
Good question.
Favorite sports moments. This past year, I refereed at Mackey Arena, and that was the coolest moment.
Did you have butterflies?
Absolutely. And anybody who says they don't,
I was gonna say,
or that they don't have nervous energy. I have nervous energy for every game because that's just because you're a referee and there's only 3 of you.
Still in you.
But refereeing at Mackey in a sold out environment was awesome.
Yeah, that's surreal, man. That's cool.
I'd say for me, I'd say I have 2, but probably my favorite one was probably winning sectionals with Ryan in high school.
Fun.
That's cool, man.
That was fun.
Sectional championship. I remember the odds were definitely against us. The refs were calling every foul in our starting lineup.
Refs, you know, the
All your little ref buddies. Like I'm talking about, like dudes who had never played before in the whole entire year are in the game, and it's just me. I'm like the only like experienced guy on our team that's in. I mean, with like a freshman, a junior, and like 2 sophomores, and it's just me in there, and they're all on the bench, and I was just like. I thought I didn't know how I was going to keep up and how we were going to stay the lead, but we were only down by a point at halftime or a point or 2 at halftime.
That was probably the craziest performance I've seen you do playing with you. He scored 45.
Yeah, 2 school
broke the scoring record in the field goals. Was it field goals made?
Yeah, field goals made.
In Carroll history in that same game, won the sectional
game.
Yeah. That was awesome, man.
That's number 1 then.
Yeah, probably. It's got to be. 'Cause there's just a lot of emotions. There's just a lot of emotions.
Way to call that out.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I just want to tell you, show number 21. Glad we had you both on.
Yeah.
Appreciate
It's pretty
you guys.
cool how
Thank
you guys are all connected, working for Jordan's company.
3 Rivers Lawn and Company.
There you go.
3 Rivers Lawn Care Company. Get a hold of us. We're full service. Lawn care, landscaping, snow removal this winter. We'll take care of all of it for you.
Of course, Jordan won't
Even
be
in
doing
the rain.
Jordan won't be doing the snow. He'll be on the road.
Facts.
Follow the Dons as well. Mastodons over here. Big PFW guy.
And trying.
And trying the Thunder. Come up to Angola. Catch a game. We appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. Episode 21. It's going strong. Be sure to keep following our social media pages, and we'll tune in next week.
And what are those?
On Instagram, we are the 260, as well as on Twitter, 260. But make sure you put an O, not a 0, because we don't do zeros around here. So
there's no zeros in the fort, boys.
There we go. All right, guys. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll see y'all next week.
Woohoo! Yeah!
Awesome.
.260 podcast, live from Spiece Fieldhouse every Thursday at 7 p.m., highlighting all Indiana sports, featuring guests from the 260 area code and beyond. Live on YouTube every Thursday at 7 p.m. Just search the 260, also available anywhere you find your podcasts. And remember, when searching, there are no zeros in the 260. It's the 260 podcast, live from Spiece Fieldhouse every Thursday at 7 p.m.